What's going on, everybody? Welcome to BucosLocker with your host. You know what it is, one and truly BucosLocker. Locker room talk. We about to have a little conversation for the next hour. We're gonna have a good discussion here. We're gonna have a conversation about the 2024 draft class impact. So feel free to join in. I'm gonna give y'all a little couple of minutes before I get started. Before we dive into have a conversation. Just got back in. I was outside working on my OBS 98 Chevy Tahoe. Kind of like doing a mini rebuild. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say a total rebuild, but doing some interior work, repainting some panels. Well, actually repainting everything pretty much. The panels I just redid the dashboard. It was all cracked up like Dorito chips. And I ordered a dash skin. Shout out to dash skin. Got me a dash skin and with 100% silicone, and slapped it on top of the kind of resurfaced or reinforced the original dash the best way I could, and slapped the dash on there, and looks good. And right now, I took the dash bezel off. I redid the instrument cluster. It had 100 miles per hour on the dash. I got me a 99 Denali instrument bezel with 120 on the dash, and I kept the black face plate or face cover. Maybe I need to change out the white, but it's 120 on the dash now. I kept my speedometer, 252,000 miles on it. It's a 1998, 25 years old, over 25 years old. It's 26 years old now. So I got a 26-year-old truck, OBS box Tahoe. Pretty good. So like I said, redoing that. It's a project of mine, so been meaning to get to it. I redid the AC unit. Oh, not gonna say AC unit. I redid the AC system. Condenser. I did the Orpheus tube, low pressure, high pressure switch, sensors, you want to call them that, accumulator, the hoses, the pipes, the tubing, the evaporator, the floor mold actuator, the blend door actuator. What else I did? Condenser. That's the condenser already, right? Yeah. The compressor. I redid the compressor. Yeah. So yeah, I did a lot of work to the truck. New brake lines, a brake system, all new brake lines, brake system, new fuel pump. I redid some fuel lines, cut some fuel lines, redid those. New fuel pump. Cleaned out the fuel tank. Fuel pressure switch. What else I've done? I've done a lot. I've done a lot to the truck. I'm not just an IT. I don't just talk about football. I'm not just an IT and cyber guy. I can do interior work in the house, carpentry work. I can work on cars, trucks. I could do landscaping. Okay. My bad. I'm just versatile like that. I'm just versatile. So join me for the next hour or the next 56 minutes. We're going to start out. I'm going to talk about the draft class, and then I'm going to do a question and answer from the chat as we close out the video. So what you guys think about? Okay, Brandon, calm down. I was just Jesus, Brandon. I mean, I am a little Mad Max, not Furioso, but the original Mad Max. The original Mad Max in Mad Max Thunderdome. I'm not Mad Max Furioso. Calm down, Brandon. Jesus, don't do me like that. But So let's talk about it. What y'all think about the? Well, I don't want to ask y'all. Let me just give my take on the draft class. So the overall take of the draft class, it's pretty good. All right, now there's a couple picks that people are probably scratching their head, like, oh, the running back, and but on the back end in the 7th round, Devin Cope, the tight end from Washington, Jason Licht, he likes Washington players. He loves some Washington players, don't he? I mean, Cade Otton came from Washington. He got Devin Cope, but at some point, the Washington players got to produce at a high level. You know what I'm saying? And I think we got one now. Devin Cope, on some real, keep it real, I wouldn't be surprised he beat out Cade Otton because he's much faster. He's much more explosive. Now, I'm not saying he'll make the team because he's a 7th-round pick, but I'm just saying, pop on that tape and you watch Devin Cope. He faster than Cade Otton, more versatile, more explosive, and we need some juice. And I believe we got some juice at the tight end. We got a little juice at the running back. We got a little juice at the receiver. Now, you notice the back end of the draft was more toward the offense. The running back, the receiver, the receiver, the running back, the guard, the tight end. Now, we do at some point, and it's crazy when you look at the receiver for Jason Licht, the receivers that he's drafted. One of the reasons why we don't have a lot of explosiveness at receiver up until Trey Palmer and Jalen McMillan is because Jason Licht don't like drafting receivers in the first 2 rounds. And they made a note about this, that Jason Licht, Mike Evans was the last receiver that he drafted in the 1st round. You know what I'm saying? Which is interesting. And that's came back to haunt us for years. And meanwhile, the other teams around the NFL have been drafting receivers 1st, 2nd round. And we have shied away from doing that. And I still believe that we're going to have to do a receiver in the 1st round at some point. We're going to, at some point in the next couple years, we're going to need to draft a receiver in the 1st round. Whether you guys like it or not, Mike Evans only got about 2 good years left, pretty much, at a high level. And we don't have a receiver, a top tier, 1st round, elite receiver in the wings. But at some point, we're going to have to draft a receiver in the 1st round. You know what I'm saying? A high level, you know what I'm saying? And, we getting away with the Chris Godwin and, the Trey Palmer's okay. And the Jalen McMillan, I really like that pick. That's my favorite pick of the entire class. And it's like you take a step back and you look at the draft class and you see for what it is. We filled some holes, right? We filled some holes. Some people got questions about the Tykee Smith, the slot guy. We do have a kind of a short secondary in a way. We do have a short secondary, or particularly in safety with Winfield, Whitehead, and now Tykee Smith. So we're not big up in the back end of the secondary. Now, our cornerbacks are tall, right? Our cornerbacks are tall. McCullen's like 6'1", I believe. And then, Jamel Dean like 6'2". But we do have some short safeties and corners, or nickels, I'm sorry. So at some point, we're probably going to have to get a little bigger back there at some point. But it's a gift and a curse at the same time. If you look around the NFL, it can hurt you, it can help you. It just depends, right? It depends on what type of player he is at slot nickel, or nickel back, or safeties, right? So Winfield Jr. is really good, but we've seen some instances where his height kind of hurt us a little bit. So and then you look at Braswell. Some people question that pick. The edge guy, 6'3", 250 pounds, 51 pounds. They'll probably beef him up to about 260, 270. Well, as far as immediate impact, I don't see him as an immediate impact guy starter day one. I don't see it right away. He's a rotational piece. But I believe he'll eventually become a starter. That particular pick was for the Joe Tryon Stoinka. That's for that. Because with the Yaya Diaby and the Chris Braswell, that's the makeup picks for the Joe Tryon. Joe Tryon has not panned out. The Bucs did not pick up his 5th-year option for a legit reason. He's not producing. And do not be surprised that Chris Braswell, he gets in there and he takes snaps away from Joe Tryon. And the Bucs end up trading him. Hopefully, that Joe Tryon shows up. But you know how this is. When guys under pressure, contract year pretty much, no 5th-year option picked up, and he had like a 9-sack season, he's going to get paid, right? And I just don't see the Bucs paying him. Now that you done drafted, back-to-back years, edge rushers, So it is what it is. So Joe Tryon, he's really, auditioning for another team. Maybe we can trade him if he's doing really good. I don't know. But I just don't see them cutting. I don't see them giving him a big contract. Even if he does well, even if he gives a 8-sack, 9-sack, 10-sack season, he's gonna want to get paid off of 1 year after 3 years of mediocre. Can't do that. And the Bucs learned their lesson with Shaq Barrett. Can't do that. So Braswell pick is basically a replacement for Tryon Soyinka. Now, this is what I was telling y'all about. When you miss on draft picks, you have to draft over them again, and you set your team back a couple years. And so you look at Joe Tryon Stoinka, he was drafted in 2021. You know what I'm saying? So by missing on that pick, it set the team back like 2 or 3 years. And we just now, catching up with the Yaya Diaby and the Braswell pick. So that goes to show you Jason Licht, he's not perfect. He's not terrible, but he does miss on some picks and he does hurt the franchise. He set the franchise back because you have to draft their replacements. And when you can be, if Tryon was supposed to be what he's supposed to be, you wouldn't have to draft Braswell. You could have drafted somebody else. You probably could have got a receiver in the 2nd round. But this is the prime example of you got to pump your brakes on Jason Licht. Now, the last 2 draft classes, that's good, right? And you can't just say he's top tier when you see the misses and setting the franchise back by missing on some key positions and key spots in the draft. So you have to be careful about beating your chest about Jason Licht. I'm just giving y'all the reality of it. Look, I'm not diminishing what he did this draft class. I'm not diminishing last year's draft class. Those are 2 good draft classes, right? I'm not doing that. I'm just saying the totality of the situation. Before you pump your chest and hoorah, and you just make sure you look at the overall landscape. The reason why we have to draft Yaya Diaby and a Kalijah Clancy and a Braswell is because of the Logan Hall miss and the Joe Tryon Stoinka miss. We can't forget about the Noah Spence. We can't forget about the totality of it. So people like to just only talk about the good, but not talk about the bad. So I like to talk about both. So that way it'll give you a perspective of, nobody's perfect, but some Bucs fans think he's perfect, which is kind of weird. It's like, he's not perfect. So nobody's perfect, regardless of, baseball, basketball, football, position wise. Michael Jordan's not perfect. Kobe Bryant, nobody's perfect. We get that. I can care less about that part. I'm just giving you the reality. So miss me with the nobody's perfect stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm just giving you the reality of it. The reality of the situation, these last 2 draft classes, is basically a microcosm of missing on 2021 and 2022. That's the point I'm making. Nobody's perfect, but I have to talk about both sides. That way you can see where the team is heading at. Okay? So let's get back to the draft class. Y'all know how I talk. I like to talk about the real, the both sides of the story. So if you don't like it, you got a problem with it, I need you to move to the left, right? So 2024 draft class, we got some starters. We have some guys that are rotational. We have some juice. So it's like, okay. So let's break it down. First round pick, I'm pretty sure everybody loves that pick, right? He's going to be a center, right? He's going to be a center. But he has versatility. So not saying down the road he can, play other positions, which he can, but he's going to be a center. So the Robert Hainsley pick, which wasn't a great pick. Serviceable at best. He kept getting ragdolled. This is another example of when you miss on picks like Robert Hainsley, you have to go back and draft on top of that. Right? So these are little tidbits that you got to understand when it comes to missing picks. When you make a good pick, a solid pick, or a upper level pick, or a Pro Bowl pick, or an All Pro pick, you don't have to keep drafting that position. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. Looking at this draft class and last year's draft class, you're starting to see some consistency with Jason Licht. Prior to these two draft classes, he was very inconsistent. Very inconsistent. Some hits and some misses. But you want to see consistency. You want to see these guys be, productive players on the team. Right? So when you look at the Graham Barton pick, you can, he's a plug and play guy. I don't want to hear this. Oh, he can go. No. That's Robert Hainsley replacement. That's Robert Hainsley replacement. So we had to watch Robert Hainsley for the last couple of years get ragdoll, and it hurt the running game. Now the Bucs has never really had a running game since Doug Martin. Tom Brady covered up the running game with the quick passing, the spamming screens with Chris Godwin and all that stuff like that, checking it down to Leonard Fournette and stuff like that. He spammed a lot of stuff, right? So with the Graham Barton pick, that is and going into the season, going into training camp, that is a considerable upgrade over Robert Hainsley going into the camp. Not saying that I don't know if Graham Barton is going to be great or he's going to be all Pro Bowl or All Pro, but I'm just saying the pedigree going into camp, he's better than Robert Hainsley, right? He's better than Robert Hainsley. So we are hoping him coming in. He's bigger than Robert Hainsley. He has better footwork. He has better hands. He's more aggressive. He's more strong. And you hoping that translate when week one starts right away. No injuries, barring no injuries, stuff like that. He's productive right away. You hope that when he comes in, he's already better than Robert Hainsley. That's what you hope, right? So being better than Robert Hainsley, that's the bar is not high. The bar is not high, but to be better than Robert Hainsley, that's gonna be easy for Graham Barton, in my opinion. Fins over everything. What's up, buddy? It's not gonna be hard to be better than Robert Hainsley, and I'm not bashing him. It's just that he just hurt the running game pretty bad, right? So if you look at the O-line right now, they'll probably move him to guard, which I still think is gonna be a problem. Left guard still gonna be a problem. Right guard still in question. Right tackle's okay at best, and left tackle is all pro. That's your O-line. So Tristan Wirfs, most likely Robert Hainsley at left guard, Graham Barton at center, Cody Mulch at right guard, and Luke Kadecki at right tackle. And then we did draft another guard later in the draft, but we'll get to that. I'm just giving the Graham Barton perspective right now. His impact, and this is my hashtag for today, impact. His impact will be felt right away. His impact will be felt right away. I think we can all agree with that. I think we are expecting if Robert Hainsley is a 3 or 4, we're expecting Graham Barton to be a 5 right away at center. Not saying he's going to be a great guy. He's going to be a great center in his rookie season. But I'm just saying, if Robert Hainsley is a 3 or 4 at center, you want Graham Barton to be a 5 right away. Like He don't have to build up. You got to wait for a year or two for him to develop, which is fine. But you hope the impact, #impact, you hope the impact is a 5 right away, which will affect the running game in a positive note. And it will show. If he plays to his potential, the running game should improve. The pressure up the middle should become less and less a bothersome thing for Baker Mayfield. Now, Baker Mayfield is 6 foot. Graham Barton is 6'5". Right? So he's a big center. Baker Mayfield got to be in a shotgun like 90% of the time, which kind of tips off a lot of plays. Right? So the Graham Barton impact will be better than what you really probably expected, right? That's what I'm expecting, right? Because we talked about the O-line. We talked about the guys that the Bucs could draft. We talked about Jackson Powers-Johnson. We also talked about Graham Barton. Either one was going to be fine, and we got one of them. So that's great, right? Now, just that one pick, you're going to see the impact for the entire offense, in particular the running game. And we'll get to the running back that the Bucs did draft. Some people got questions on that about his speed, but tape kind of shows a little something different. But I watched Bucky Irvin quite a few times on TV, and he was making guys miss. Not the fastest, he doesn't have Trey Benson speed, right? He doesn't have the Jonathan Brooks speed or the Jalen Wright speed, the Braylon Allen speed. In the draft, he ran a 4.45. So it's like, but he's more quick and shifty than fast. If you look at the Rashad, you know what? Let's get to the second round. I'll get to that. Second round pick, the Bucs went edge. Now, how do you feel about the edge pick? Well, rotational right away. Right away, rotational piece right away. Right away. Braswell, I don't see him being a starter right away due to the fact that they're going to try Tryon out. Yaya Diaby is going to be a starter, obviously. And Joe Tryon is going to be a starter. He's earned, I ain't going to say earned that right, but they're going to give him a shot at the beginning of the season. Personally, I'm just kind of ready to move on from Joe Tryon Stoinka, but that's not the case. That's not how it works. I don't run the team. So Tryon's going to be our starter. Yaya Diaby is going to be on the other side. We lost Shaq Barrett. Doesn't really make a big difference, to be honest with you, because he didn't really do much. The Bucs pass rush, as far as pass rush, not talking about blitzing with the Winfield Jr. and the safeties and cornerbacks, slot. I'm just talking about straight up edge and D lineman. The Bucs pass rush win rate was bottom 5. Let me say that again. Pass rush win rate was bottom 5 in the NFL. So you want to see Yaya Diaby make a jump, Elijah Clancy make a jump, and also you want to see Braswell make an impact, and then hopefully Joe Tryon get his head out of his ASS and make something happen. Okay? But I'm going to repeat this. This is a fact. I'm not lying. I'm not gaslighting. I'm not trying to start no trouble and start arguments. I'm just giving you the facts. And we saw it ourselves. The Bucs pass rush win rate was bottom 5. It's terrible. It's terrible. Terrible. No matter how you cut it, no matter how good Yaya Diaby played, he had his ups and downs. Elijah Clancy, he had his ups and downs. But the totality of the Bucs pass rush with Vita and Shaq Barrett and Watts and Anthony Nelson, Logan Hall, William Golston, nobody on that D line, including the rookies, scared anybody. Like I said, Yaya Diaby and Kalijah Clancy had their moments. They did really good as for rookies. Yaya had 7.5 sacks. I think Kalijah had 7? So that's really good for rookies. That's really good for rookies. For them two to come out and have 7 sacks, their rookie season. Now, there will be some expectations because your rookie season, you don't really have a lot of expectations for certain guys. But being that they displayed some really good moments and they can build on that and be more consistent. Now, Yaya did tail off towards the back end of the season. Maybe, I guess he caught a rookie roadblock or something, but he did tail off. Kalijah Clancy had his moments too. He was a little more fresher, but he kind of got swallowed up a couple times because of lack of size and lack of length. But those guys are good. Those guys came in and made an impact. Hashtag, that's the hashtag for the day. Impact. They made an impact right away. They were 5s right away. Maybe 6, right? So this season for the pass rush with the two, guys that we drafted last season, and then you pair that with the Braswell pick, you're hoping Braswell can kind of produce the same at some point, like Yaya Diaby starting. And you look up and Braswell got 6.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7 sacks. You be like, whoa, that's good. Now, I'm not trying to put a lot of pressure on Braswell. I'm not going to do that because at the beginning of the season, I just see him as a rotational guy. I didn't put a lot of pressure on Yaya Diaby. I did put some pressure on Clancy because he was the first round pick. But Braswell, being that what's in front of him is 2 guys that are starting. Okay. So he will get plenty of playing time, folks. He'll get plenty of playing time at the beginning of the season because our pass rush is not great. I can easily name 20 teams with better pass rushers. Like when I say pass rushers, I'm talking about whether they run a 4-3, a wide 9, a 3-4 hybrid. I can name 20 teams with better pass rushers, or pass rush win rate than the Bucs. It's very easy to do that. There's so many different metrics when you focus on the pass rush for the Bucs. The run defense is good, but teams like to pass the ball. We'll get to that in a second. But when you look at the Bucs from a pass rushing perspective, it's not great. It's literally bottom 10, maybe bottom 7. Just from a D-line, outside linebacker perspective, compared to the rest of the league. You can easily name 20 teams, probably 22 teams better than the Bucs pass rush overall. I'm talking about starters and depth. I mean, when you got guys like William Golson and Anthony Nelson last year, and the Shaq Barrett underwhelming season, and Joe Tryon and Logan Hall, that's not doing anything. That's not going to win a lot of games as far as when you need that pass rush. How many games did we see quarterbacks drop back and just pat the ball? 3rd and 13, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8, first down, no pass rush, or almost doesn't count type, win rates. We got to have guys like Clancy and Yaya Diaby take the jump, win a lot more. And these last 3 guys that we drafted, Braswell, Yaya Diaby, and Kalijah Clancy, these guys are representing a new wave. This is a new wave of pass rush. It is more juice. It's more young. It's more energetic. Clancy he's all over the place, right? And Yaya Diaby, power guy, and Braswell, he's relentless. This is a new wave of pass rush. No more the Tryons and the Logan Halls. Those guys, at some point, those guys are just going to be rotational pieces. And eventually off the team. Because the Bucs they're not paying Logan Hall, and they're not going to pay Joe Tryon. They did not pick up his 5th-year option. Right? So, let's just hope that Braswell starts the season out getting some snaps, and if he comes in training camp and blows everybody away, then you know what they say, when a young guy comes into the camp and he's even Stevens with a veteran, you go with the young guy. So in other words, if Joe Tryon-Stoinka is a 4 and Chris Braswell is a 4, who do you go with? Who do you go? I'm on the second round pick right now. I'm on the second round pick. Well, I'm working my way all the way to the 7th round. If both guys are doing the same thing in training camp, performance-wise, Braswell and Joe Tryon-Stoinka, if the young guy is doing really good, who do you go with? Right? You go with the young guy. You always go with the young guy if the young guy's performing just as good as the veteran. Always go with the young guy. So if Braswell does what he's supposed to do, great. Bye-bye. Well, I ain't gonna say bye-bye Joe Tryon-Stoinka. It's just Joe Tryon will go to his probably, I think somebody mentioned it in the chat, his natural position, which is a rotational piece. Right? That's just what it is. So that's the second round pick. His impact probably going into the season will probably be a 3 or 4. Bar impact will be a 10, right? Which is a starter. Well, I'm gonna say 7. Let's just keep it. Let's just say 7. His impact will be a 7, which means it'll affect the offense in a great way. Braswell will be like a 3, 4-ish going into the season. As far as impact wise. Now, his third round pick, people had questions about that. Tykee Smith from Georgia, the slot nickelback. He plays some safety, he plays some corner. He's a chess piece. You can move him around. But when the Bucs drafted him, you had to look at Christian Eisen, and you had to say, it's been nice. Right? And there's no offense to Christian Eisen, undrafted, but it's been nice because you don't draft a guy right there. He's bigger than Christian Eisen. He's faster. I mean, it is what it is. You need more talent. And no knock on Christian Eisen, but Mr. Smith, I'm gonna call him Agent Smith, is better. Came from a better school, better pedigree. You know what I'm saying? You go, and this is the good thing about the Bucs taking an Alabama, pick in the 2nd round, and then you come back in the 3rd round, you take a Georgia guy. These guys are battle tested. They've been going against NFL players every day in practice. So Tykee Smith, Agent Smith, I'm gonna call him that. He's not going to shy away from competition. You late, Dada. Jesus Christ, man. Damn you late. 30 minutes late? Jesus Christ, boy. Anyway, Agent Smith or Tykee Smith, you want to call him that, he's going to make an impact. His impact will be probably a 6, maybe a 7, just as good as Graham Barton because of the upgrade of talent. Tykee Smith. Okay, so I'm gonna call him Ty or Agent Smith, right? His impact will be felt right away, barring no injuries, right? His impact will be just as good as Graham Barton's. I'm gonna say a 7 because that's an upgrade. So we upgraded from Robert Hainsley. We got a rotational piece with Braswell, and then you got Tykee Smith. That's an upgrade of Christian Eisen. Eisen, what are you gonna call it? Right? And that's an upgrade. So if you look at it, the first 3 picks, 2 of them are pretty great upgrades of what the Bucs had last year and previous years. The guys that were playing in the positions before the rookies are rotational pieces. Or, Hainsley will be starting probably guard, whatever. I don't know. But Eisen will be a special teams guy and a backup guy. Right? That's good. And his position will be basically now you can keep Winfield Jr. at free safety. You don't have to run him up to the line of scrimmage all the time, and he gets blocked by a running back or tight end, and then the Bucs give up a first down because Winfield Jr. is not back there. The reason the Tykee Smith was probably drafted is because they want Winfield Jr. to see the field a lot more. They want them to see the field. They want him to see the field a lot more than to be at the line of scrimmage. Now, they'll still use him at the line of scrimmage. He's effective. But if Tykee Smith comes in and plays to the level that he can play coming from Georgia, then, oh, wow. So, as a starter, no offense to Christian Eisen, it is what it is. Robert Smith, relax, man. Jesus Christ. I don't know what you just can't. You just came in with the recklessness. Come on, Robert. You just came in reckless, man. What you doing, Robert? You just come in reckless. You didn't even just read the room, man. You just come in reckless. Read the room, man. We just talking about the draft picks. We putting the reality spin on it. You know, the reality of the situation for the position that they drafted, and you come in kicking the door, waving the fofo. Like, good Lord, and shouting. Everybody, relax. Jesus Christ. Just come in just reckless. Y'all know this guy? I don't remember the guy. I don't know. But reckless with the keyboard. You know, keyboard, reckless with the keyboard. One of those guys, just reckless, just come in and just typing. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't even offering no nutrients to the chat room, like having a conversation with amongst the powers and C-bands. He just comes in and just starts shouting out just crazy stuff. No nutrients when he types. When you type on your keyboard, man, add something to the conversation. Some nutrients. Jesus Christ. Where's your football conversation? Where's your football conversation? You just coming in just blurting out, we suck and all, nothing of significance. Nothing behind it. You just always suck and all this. Where's your football talk? You got to talk football over here, buddy. Now, if you have a problem, I'll be more than gladly to have you in the locker room. We can have a great conversation. Now, make sure you have all your T's, your I's dotted, your T's crossed. I'm just saying, we can have a conversation about it, me and you, right in the locker room in front of everybody. And I maybe we can kind of calm you down and get your frustrations of the draft class, just relax a little bit. Maybe you just need a conversation. You want to talk, man? You want to have a conversation? You want to have a football conversation? Because I think I sense some frustration from you, man. I'm just trying to calm you down, man. I mean, if you're mad and you're upset, let's talk about it. What don't you like? You know what I'm saying? So, that was the first third round pick. The second third round pick is my favorite pick. Jalen McMillan. Immediate starter, upgrade over Trey Palmer, and also most likely the future replacement for Chris Godwin. Right? I'm just saying. J Mill with the burners. Dude fast, he twitchy, he can catch, he's a playmaker. And no offense to Trey Palmer, but you got to look at the situation. Chris Godwin, no extension talks. Trey Palmer had a pretty good year, right, for a rookie, right? He had some moments that he dropped some balls, whatever. That's cool. But enter J Mill. You got to look at it. He's most likely going to be starting right away. I'm just saying. I mean, he's a hard person to guard. And if you watch the tape of Jay Millie, prior to him getting hurt last year, he was 1B. Michael Penix Jr. Shout out to Michael Penix. He getting a lot of hate right now from these unathletic weirdos. Getting mad at him because the Falcons drafted him. Why are you getting mad at Michael Penix? He didn't do anything wrong. But anyway, Jay Millie, he was doing his thing. And you look at the Bucs receiving situation, it's not the most explosive in the NFL. There's plenty of teams, even teams with a worse record, got better receiving cores. Like it's well, let me rephrase that. As far as explosiveness, like Mike Evans does his thing, but he's more like you got to get him 15, 20 yards down the field. But as far as yak, we're not a yak team. But enter Jay Millie, he's a yak guy, and he's the great thing I like about this pick. This is an immediate impact. The Graham Barton level, the Tykee Smith level. This is a 7 impact. You know, this is a 7 impact, maybe an 8. He would probably have the. I'm just saying, I'm really big on the Jalen McMillan pick because of the explosiveness that he brings to the offense. Fins over everything. What's the problem? Why are you laughing? Anyway, he brings so much more juice to the team. Now, Trey Palmer brings juice too, but he got a different type of juice. Go look at the Washington tape the last couple of years. Don't just look at this year or this past season. Go look at the time he was at Washington. Just look at the totality of the situation. The dude is good. And before he got hurt, I'm telling you, if he didn't get hurt, he would have been 2nd round pick, guaranteed. The only reason why he went 3rd round, in my opinion, because he got hurt, and Romeo Oduzier and Jalen Pope just kind of went nuts. Okay. And then I think he hurt his ankle or something like that. Then when Jalen McMillan got back, or Jay Millie, when he got back, you saw the production. Now, what do the Bucs do with Trey Palmer? What do they do with Trey Palmer? I would like to see him return kicks. I would like to see him return punts. Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. I would like to see Trey Palmer return punts and kickoffs. When y'all agree? I would like to see that. You know, I would like to see Trey Palmer return kicks and punts. He's fast. I think Jalen McMillan is just a better overall receiver. He has better college tape. He has better pedigree. And this is no knock on Trey Palmer. It's just going into the draft. If you look at both guys going into the draft, okay, Trey Palmer went 5th round. Jalen McMillan went 3rd round. So the pedigree is there. The pedigree is there. The production is there. And he did it at a high level for a couple years. Just giving y'all some truth here. Some of y'all don't like Jalen McMillan. I don't know why, which is weird. But I see Jalen McMillan being the number 2. Sooner than you think. And then here's the thing about Jalen McMillan. He can play inside. He can play outside. He can play the XY. He can play the slot. So you can basically put him all over the field. So there will be some plays where he's on the outside and Godwin's in the slot. Now Godwin's more effective in the slot because he lacks explosiveness. I'm just giving y'all some facts here. And once again, Chris Godwin there's no talks of a contract extension. His cap hit is huge. $27 million. And they're not even trying to extend him. They're not even talking about it. What does that tell you? What does this pick tell you? Chris Godwin's drafted in the 3rd round. Jalen McMillan, 3rd round. Around the same time, around the same pick, too. I'm just giving y'all the reality of the situation. I don't want to see Chris Godwin leave. Or I don't want to see his time get cut in half, but Jalen McMillan is going to eat some of them snaps. I'm just saying. And, it's crazy. Here's the beautiful thing about it, folks. People don't understand that the Bucs can legit go 4 wide. Jalen McMillan can literally, he adds another dimension. The Bucs can literally go 4 wide with Palmer, McMillan in the slot, Godwin on the outside, Evans on the outside. Or however you want to mix that up. They can literally go legit 4 wide now. Like, they have legit 4 wide outs. They haven't had that in a long time. They can go 4 wide. And you throw in, Rashad White or Bucky Irvin. They can have 4 or 5 legit guys that can catch the ball and make some plays. For the first time in a long time. When the last time, as a Bucs fan, you thought about it and said, man, can the Bucs line up 4 wide? Legit 4 wide. When the last time you thought about it? When the last time you thought about, like, man, do the Bucs got 4 legit guys that can line up at receiver? We can go 4 wide? So the Jalen McMillan impact is going to be pretty good. Right? So round 4, a lot of people are mixed reviews about this pick with Bucky Irvin. I like the pick. I saw him play. He good. In the 4th round. In the 4th round, that's a good value pick. Now his impact will probably be a 4. Of course, Rashad White is the starting running back. That is no question behind that because of where they picked the running back in Rashad White's previous season. He's a starter going into the season. But best to believe, Bucky Irvin will get some of those snaps. Don't give me this Chase Edmonds nonsense. As long as Bucky Irvin do what he's supposed to do, stay healthy, do good in training camp and preseason, he will definitely have some sort of impact. He's quicker. He's more shiftier than Rashad White. And he might be stronger than he might be a stronger runner. Like, when you watch Bucky Irvin's tape, he runs strong for his size. He's a small dude, but he's one of them power packs. I like to call those guys power packs. Power pack. So Bucky's impact will probably be a 4. Right? A 4. He'll come in, he'll get some snaps. He gonna make guys miss. He's almost like he's a less hype of Blake Corum. See, like Blake Corum and Bucky Irvin are like similar players. Both of them short, shifty, not a lot of top end speed, but they're powerful, they're compact, they're power packs. They can cut on the dime, they can make guys miss. Blake Corum just got more hype. I'm just saying, if he was a little bit more faster, he probably would have won the 3rd round. I'm just saying. And then, Now, where do you play Bucky Irvin? Like what downs? I mean, on third down, can he pick up a blitz? Now, I didn't see that a lot, but he'll stick his nose in there. He'll stick his nose in there. He'll make something happen. He gonna pop you. He gonna bring it to you. I'm just curious though. I wonder how long he will last with his running style, with his size. I hope he don't become injury prone in the NFL because he runs hard. He runs tough. He don't like he'll make guys miss, but he's powerful. And those guys kind of get nicked up a lot. So don't be surprised Bucky Irvin turns some heads in his rookie season. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to throw it out there. Captain Bucky, Big Bucky, whew, if he do what he's supposed to do, Rachaad White, oh boy. I'm just saying. Because he RB number 2. He's RB number 2. He ain't behind no Chase Edmonds. And, I wish the best for Sean Tucker. I hope he get his health right. But Bucky Irvin got drafted. Sean Tucker's undrafted. More than likely, he probably won't be on the team. Because, Chase Edmonds, Bucky Irvin, and don't see any room for Sean Tucker. It is what it is. I wish him the best in his career. Probably won't last long. Probably be out the league really soon. But it is what it is. NFL stands for not for long. Big Bucky. I'm calling him Big Bucky. I'll find another name for him. I got Agent Smith and I got Jay Mills. The Punisher, Barton. I'm called Barton the Punisher. So you got Barton is the Punisher. Right? I'll find something for Graham Barton, but I'm calling him the Punisher. And then you got Braswell. I got to find something for what? Brazzy. Then you got Agent Smith. Then you got Big Bucky. Right? So if Bucky runs like he's supposed to, if he ran like he runs in Oregon in the NFL, Rachaad White in trouble. Rachaad White in trouble. I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's taking his job. I'm just saying if Big Bucky do his thing, he's gonna take some of them snaps. And don't let this dude come in and make some good runs right away. Oh, Rachaad White gonna have to start looking with his eyes open. Just saying. Rachaad White gonna start looking around. So I'm like, oh man. I'm just saying. If he makes some good runs in training camp and preseason, folks gonna be like, yo, is he getting some playing time? They're gonna be looking at him. You gonna see some Big Bucky jerseys. Just saying. He gonna make some runs. You could tell already. You could tell. He got the juice in him. He got juice. So we didn't have a 5th round pick. We had a 6th round pick. Elijah Klein, the guard from UTEP. Now, I didn't watch a lot of UTEP. I did watch them in 2022. They had some players in 2022. But I don't know much about Elijah Klein, but from what people are saying, he's a dog. He's gonna be a problem. Okay, good. Impact will probably be a 1. Impact will be a 1 because the Bucs got their starters already. Hasley guard, Moch is a guard, the Punisher, Barton, center, Luke Gadecki, right tackle, Tristan Wirfs, left tackle. So, Elijah Klein is more than likely a camp body, maybe. Oh yeah, Jason Licht couldn't resist it, right? He couldn't resist it. He couldn't resist Jason Light. It just in it. It's in his DNA to draft a small school off the radar guy, and hopefully he could become an Alex Kappa. Late round guy. You start. But that'd be crazy if he come in. He better than Robert Hainsley. I'll be like, oh wow, at guard, and he's bigger than Robert. Robert Hainsley is small. People don't realize this. Guards, man, they gotta be like 320, 330. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Don't be surprised that Mr. Elijah Klein comes in and makes some noise. I'm not saying he's gonna be starting, but if he come in and makes some noise and turns some heads, he's bigger than Cody Mulch and Robert Hainsley. I'm just saying. We're gonna see what Mr. Klein do. If he's gonna make it do what it do, then we have a great problem. We have a great problem if Elijah Klein comes in and one of them late round gems. I would love for the Bucs to get a late round gem. I would love for one of these guys, Elijah Klein, just wow, we got one. We got one. He's a blocking guard. He can play some pass protection too, but he's a big guy. Limited. He's kind of stiff, right? He's a little stiff, but it's okay. You in the NFL now. You get with some trainers, they stretch you out a little bit, get your nutrition right. You can make an impact, but his impact, in my opinion, will be a 1. And last but not least, my other good, I like this pick. Devin Cope, Washington tight end. Surprisingly, he went this late. He's a talented guy. Talent-wise, Devin Cope should have been an earlier pick. For whatever reason, he went in the 7th round. Probably had some off-field issues or so. I don't know. But I watched him play quite a few times at at Washington, because Washington had a lot of games on TV, so you got a chance to see him play. And Jason Light went back to the wishing well with a Washington player. He has a thing for Washington players. I'm just saying. I think he's more explosive than K-Dot, in my opinion. That extra, and real quick, that extra 3rd round pick really came in handy. That extra 3rd round pick came in handy, folks. Just saying, but Devin Cope, I think he's gonna make an impact if he stay healthy and make the camp. His impact will probably be right now. I would say a 2, maybe a 3, because he's faster than Cade Otton. He's more explosive. Yeah, Cade Stover went to the Texans. Perfect situation for him. Sit behind Dalton Schultz. Cade Stover is going to get some playing time. He said, whatever happened to Payne Durham? Yeah, Cade Stover, who I wanted the Bucs to draft, he went to the Texans. The perfect situation for him. You got Dalton Schultz, and you got Cade Stover's going to get some playing time. But Devin Cope, he's more explosive. He's that catching tight end. That's why he's that catching tight end. But Cade Otton is too, but he's not explosive as Devin Cope. I'm just saying. So yeah, he's kind of old. Yeah, he's kind of old. He's 20. Yeah, he's been around for a minute. But people, you know what? 24 is not old, man. What? I mean, it's almost like dog years in the NFL. If you're 24 years old in the NFL, that's like you're 30. I mean, god damn. When did 24 years old become old? Jesus Christ. Where has the world come to? I mean, damn. Everybody got to be 20 years old to play in the NFL now. Black Crow Volume 2. What's up, man? I mean, god damn. I'm just saying. Everybody can't be 20, 21, 20, 20, 20, 21, 20, 21, 22 years old coming to the NFL. Some of these guys are going to be 23, 24. Good God. God dang. I mean, good Lord. God dang. Like, you want the guy to come in at 20? Everybody can't be 20 years old on the roster, man. You're going to have some guys that's 23, 24 years old get drafted. There's plenty of those guys got drafted. It happens every year. I'm just saying. So that's the overall draft class for the Bucs. A solid draft class. Cole Keith, that tight end situation with the Cade Otton, the Payne Durham, the Cole Keith. Now you got Devin Cope. I mean, it's not a great tight end room, but I'm just saying. It's not an explosive tight end room at all. At all. Ben Stanock got drafted. Cade Stover got drafted. Sanders got drafted. That tight end room still lacking some juice. Not well, Devin Cope does add juice, but he's a 7th-round pick, so you can't say he's going to make the team, but he could. Once the 6th and 7th-round picks, it's hard to make the team. It's the reason why you got picked in the 6th, 7th round. That's it. Just the D all levels. Just the D all levels was. Are you being nice, man? With that name, man. Just the D all levels. But overall, my overall take of the draft class, a solid draft class. I think we got 3 starters. The Punisher, Barton, Tykee Smith, Agent Smith, and Jay Mills, starter. And one of my hashtags a few videos ago was we need starters. And we got 3. We got 3 starters. 3 legit starters. Nickel, slot corner, right? Jay Mills, receiver number 3, and the Punisher, Graham Barton, center. And this is what I'm talking about. So my overall grade for the draft is a B+. I like to leave a little room for like improvement, right? But we can come back and visit this, down the road. But going into the season, B+. That's good. There's nothing wrong with B+. It's borderline A almost. But B+ is good. It gives those guys some room to grow. If you say A+, cool. I just like to leave a little room for growth. This is a solid class. We got 3 starters. We got 2 rotational pieces in Braswell and Irvin. We got added some guard depth in the later rounds, and then we got a explosive tight end. I'm just saying. Now we didn't get a linebacker. We didn't draft a linebacker. We didn't draft an outside guy corner. We didn't draft a quarterback either. The Saints got Spencer Rattler. But overall, though, the Bucs did a good job. Good job, Jason Licht and his minions. Good job for 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row. 2 solid classes. Last year, we had a lot of rookies play, 13. So there's a slight movement going on with the Bucs. The Bucs are getting younger. But still some question marks at linebacker, outside corner, tight end. But, remains to be seen with the KJ Britt and the Cade Otton and the Zion McCullough, especially the cornerback position, the outside position, Zion McCullough. That's going to be our make or break. Because we know what Jamel Dean is. But we still kind of got questions on Zion McCullough. And this is year 3 for him, I believe, right? We still got some holes. After the draft, we still got some holes. Linebacker, tight end, outside corner. Outside corner. And Jay Mills and the Punisher, Graham Barton, has significantly upgraded the Bucs offense. Just those two, adding a center and a really good second receiver 2 or 3. Well, he's a receiver 2 or 3, in my opinion. That's an upgrade. The Bucs offense should be better, running the ball and with some more explosiveness. I'm just saying. I think he's going to make, some great things happen. But yeah, B+ is a good grade for the draft class. I'm just saying. Yeah, like the films, it's been a long time. Mike Evans was the only receiver since 2014 to be drafted for the Bucs. 2014 was the last time the Bucs drafted a receiver in the first round. Which kind of shows the lack of explosiveness as far as playmakers on the outside with the Bucs. Because for whatever reason, from 2015 to 2024, the Bucs do not like drafting receivers in the first round or even the second round. Which is interesting. And it showed, right? It showed. It's caught us in a lot of the times that we don't have enough talent. When I mean by talent, I mean go more further in depth is explosiveness. Now, we've kind of been reduced to a spamming screens and check down team with occasional, down the field shot to Mike Evans. That's what the Bucs pretty much is prior to Jay McMillan or Jay Mill. I'm just saying. We was even last year. It was 0, line of scrimmage 0 to 10, and then occasional shot to Mike Evans. And Mike Evans was our only really explosive receiver. You rarely seen the Bucs. I mean, Mike Evans had his moments where he got some yak, but it was off of like a broken tackle. It was like some weird thing happened, whatever. But like just a legit like Deebo Samuels, a Puka Nacua, Tyler Lockett, like guys that can get yards after the catch, like they can catch the ball, we didn't have that. We got it now. We got it now. We got a guy that can make some plays and when he catches that ball. And we sorely needed that for years. Because a lot of the Bucs catches, they catch the ball and they get tackled. I'm just saying. But B+ is good for the draft class. I could do some questioning and some answering right now. Let's do a question. Let's do a Q&A right now before I check out. We'll do a Q&A for 15 minutes. We'll do a little something different in the locker room. But I'll do some questions and answers. I'm not going to open up the locker room tonight because I don't feel like being on here all night. I am tired. I am hungry. So I'll do some questions and answers. let me pick out some questions. Anybody got any questions for Buckles Locker related to the draft class? Do not ask me questions about whatever. Ask me questions about the draft class. You can ask me questions about the NFC South, but don't get reckless. Where's the questions? Where is the questions? Okay. Here we go. We got a question here. Oh, there's it. Is it so? The Q&A is the question got to be directed to me. Now, if you're asking questions in the chat, that's fine. But if you want me to answer a question, just make sure you reference me, like Buckos. I got a question, and I'll actually click on it, and it'll come right up on the screen right here. When I'm doing the Q&A for about 15 minutes. Dada, is our number one pick starting at center or guard day one? He will be a center day one. Say so. Goodbye, Robert Hainsley. Getting ragdoll. Okay, ragdoll. So yeah, so happy. A lot of people are relieved of that too. A lot of people are relieved of Robert Hainsley no longer being a starting center. Thank God. Just the D, all levels. That name is funny. Does McMillan take over Palmer, Bucko? Yes. In my opinion. In my opinion. Absolutely. Because of the pedigree, the production, where he was drafted at. So you're gonna pick a guy in the third round and he's not starting? Remember now, third rounders are starters now, folks. Third rounders are starters. No offense to Trey Palmer, he's gonna get plenty of playing time. Keep an eye on that Chris Godwin situation, folks. Keep an eye out on that Chris Godwin situation. You wish, Bucko, what do you grade our picks this year? B plus. B plus. B plus. Exactly, Al Bundy. McMillan over Palmer. Absolutely no. I'm not even thinking twice about that. Why is that even an argument? How is that even a question for people? Do y'all really watch football? I mean, why is that even a folks? It's clear as day. McMillan over Palmer. Clear. It's not. Why is this? That shouldn't. Al, yes, exactly. You hit it right on the head. I don't even know why people questioning that. Art Smith, Bucko, why didn't we move up in the draft at all? There were opportunities to move back. From what I was reading, there were some guys that they thought about trading up to get, but the board, I told y'all, where the board fit, how the board fell, it felt perfect for the Bucs to a degree, and they did have some trade offers from other teams to move up to take their spot and them to move back, but they stayed. For the first time, I think, in Jason Licht's history, he didn't make any trades. So there were, according to what John Spivak said and others, there were offers from other teams to move up into the Bucs position to get some other guys, but the Bucs didn't make the trade. So they probably could have picked up some more picks, but they felt comfortable with where they were, and they stayed. Exactly, Lightning Films. I mean, I don't understand what's the big. I'm not knocking Trey Palmer at all. It just people are making it seem like he's some elite receiver or something. Like, no, man. Like, no, no, man. Like, what? Where's this? Where did this come from? He ain't no damn elite receiver. Like J Mill is better. They made it seem like Trey Palmer is some God-given beast mode 5th rounder. He ain't no poo. No. J Mill's got a higher ceiling. William Rankins. Do you think we won a division with this draft class at Buckles? It's hard to say that because, well, it's actually no, it's not hard to say. It's easy to say based on what has transpired the last 2 years. So We've won the division in 2022 and in 2023 with mediocre seasons. One is below average and one is just above average. And you add this draft class. Now, mind you, we finished 9-8, so we tied with the Saints. Of course, we had a tiebreaker, so we won the division via tiebreaker. We didn't dominate the division, but we actually, we won the division. We didn't dominate the division. These last 2 years, we were not the dominant team. We just happened to win the tiebreaker. Right? So until the Bucs show me a clear dominant 17-game season, going into the season, we're going to be the favorites to win the division, but it's not a clear like I'm going with the Bucs. I'm just giving y'all from a football perspective. Now, of course, I'm riding with my team. I'm riding with my team. Obviously, right? I'm riding with the Bucs. But from a football perspective, it's not a clear like the Bucs is the best in the division because of the last couple seasons. We tied 8-9 and 9-8. So there's no clear dominant team in NFC South. It's still not a good division. So yeah, Jalen Wright went to Miami, man. That is, I like the Jalen Wright. What matter of fact, what round did he go in? Did Jalen Wright go before Bucky Irvin? LA and Fire News. Fire. What round Jalen Wright did Jalen Wright get picked before Bucky Irvin? Okay, there you have it. Right before. Okay, there we go. So 4 picks and we would have got him. I promise you. I know if it's the Bucky Irvin, but I'm telling you right now, if Jalen Wright would have been on that board, we would have got him. I'm just saying. I had a feeling. I had him on my board. I picked him. It's so funny when you look at my draft class, right? That's what the Bucs kind of did to a degree, right? But it was kind of like in different picks though. But man, 4 picks before Bucky Irvin. Oh man, I think we would have got him. I think we would have got Jalen Wright. I'm telling you. Mopar Buck with a $20 super chat. What's your opinion on the division's draft picks? I'm gonna put Carolina at the bottom still. I think the Xavier Legette, that was a reach at 32. I didn't see it. I love the way he talks though. But I thought that was a reach for Xavier Legette. They could have got other receivers better. Atlanta had a pretty decent draft. In my opinion, I know a lot of people didn't like the Atlanta draft. I like the Michael Penix pick, not just because he's from Tampa, but the situation. Kirk Cousins is 36 years old, and people are crying and complaining and not thinking with their football heads. Who says Kirk Cousins is going to be great? He might be. If he's healthy, he'll be fine. And it doesn't matter whether it's Kirk Cousins or Michael Penix. The Falcons clearly upgraded that quarterback. They clearly upgraded that quarterback. Both of them are way better than Desmond Ridder. Now, the one thing I will say about Terry Fontenot, the Falcons GM, he said some off the wall stuff. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, if you believe in your guy, you draft him. If you believe in the quarterback, you draft him. So what if we got to wait 4 or 5 years for him to start? That's a good thing to have. What? You don't draft a quarterback at number 8 and wait 4 or 5 years for him to start. I know that Haitian boy. I know that. I'm just talking. I was referencing the last 2 seasons. The 2021 season, we got the division. I was talking about dominated the division. The last couple seasons in 2022 and 2023, we did not dominate the division, which that does not mean in my opinion, that doesn't mean there's a clear dominant team or a clear pick, right? But I do understand that we won the division 3 years in a row. So back to Atlanta GM. You don't draft the quarterback at number 8 and then turn around and say, if we got to wait 4 or 5 years for him to play. Dude, he's going to play after this year, or he's going to play year 1 or year 2. There's no way you pick a quarterback at 8 and going to wait 4 or 5 years. So that was a asinine statement to make of Terry Fontenot. I guess he was trying to protect Kirk Cousins' feelings. Talking about some 4 or 5 years. Kirk Cousins don't got 4 or 5 years. He got 1 year, 2 at best. It's almost like the Green Bay situation. It's like the Kansas City Chiefs situation. A productive quarterback, but you got a rookie quarterback ready to play. And to be honest with you, Michael Penix is ready to play right now. Right? Michael Penix is ready to play right now. So there's no need to bash Michael Penix. Okay? It's not his fault. The Falcons picked him. But I do understand from a contract perspective, $100 million guaranteed. But we all seen the money don't mean nothing no more. Let Kirk Cousins have a booty season, a underwhelming season. It might be a one and done for Kirk Cousins, and the Falcons will eat that. And being drafted at number 8, remember, the Falcons are paying Kirk Cousins $100 million, and they're going to pay Michael Penix a pretty good penny too. A top 10 draft pick, oh, you got to pay for that. So don't be surprised Michael Penix getting some playing time sooner than you think. And Kirk Cousins is going to be under some weird circumstances. He's going to be in a weird situation because if he has some underwhelming games, people are going to scream for Michael Penix. So this is going to be a dynamic. This is going to be a very weird situation for Kirk Cousins. Michael Penix is going to be just fine. I'm high on Michael Penix. As a matter of fact, there were a few teams looking to pick him up. Raiders, Seahawks, and according to some reports, even the Saints was going to pick him. I'm just saying. So Michael Penix was going to go in the first round. Michael Penix was going to go in the first round regardless. Now, what number? He went 8, but if the Falcons didn't pick him up, the Raiders was right there. They was going to pick him. The reports tell you that. The Seahawks they need a quarterback behind Geno Smith, and the Saints were inquiring about that too. So he was going to be a first-round quarterback regardless. That would have been funny if he would have got to the Saints. Oh, Derek Carr would have been crying. I think he should have went to the Vikings. Vikings would have been perfect for him. Yeah, the media, they tried to make it seem like he was a second-round pick. And then the Saints had an okay draft. I like their first-round pick. And Kool-Aid McKinstry, I got mixed feelings about that. The Saints had an okay draft. Okay. It was okay at best. But I like their first-round pick. They kind of went back to the 2017 draft class. Remember when they picked up Ryan Ramczyk and they picked up Marshawn Lattimore? Marshawn Lattimore and Dennis Allen having some issues. Dennis Allen hasn't spoken to Marshawn Lattimore in weeks. So they kind of redid what they did in 2017. They drafted Marshawn Lattimore and they drafted Ryan Ramczyk. And then this year they drafted Fuanga, I can't pronounce his name correctly, and Kool-Aid McKinstry. So interesting, right? They drafted the right tackle or left tackle. Trevor Penning is a bust. I think most Saints fans can agree with that. Trevor Penning is a bust. They might try him. They might try to play him somewhere. Might try him at guard maybe. But he can't play tackle. And then the Bucs, Graham Barton, Braswell, and I believe we had the best draft class, in my opinion. I'm not being biased. I'm just kind of looking at the landscape. Now the Falcons did pick up 2 defensive linemen that I liked, or no, one of them, Rojo, and they picked up Braylon Trice. So they did pick up 2 defensive linemen. I know a lot of people was like, well, the Falcons should draft a D lineman. when they picked up 2 back to back. So yeah, I thought the Bucs had the better draft class, but that remains to be seen, right? We'll see. On paper, I believe we did. So, more power Buck with a $10 super chat. Spitler Rattler, pick your thoughts. I'm still doing questions and answers, by the way, folks. But super chats kind of go right to the front. So, let me get back to my Q&A. Spencer Rattler, 5th round pick, I believe, right? So, you got time. You got time. It's no rush. The Saints did redo Derek Carr's contract, so that terrible contract. So we'll give Spencer Rattler about 2 years. See what happens. We'll see. What up, Buccos? How do you feel about the Bucs quarterback depth? Terrible. Free will creations. The Bucs quarterback depth, I don't like it. I don't. And Kyle Trask, if they really liked him like that, I don't think they don't go after Baker Mayfield. But terrible. Galveston, Texas, terrible. That dirty. The Galveston, Texas beach water, terrible. Because you got to think about the Bucs quarterback situation. If Baker Mayfield goes down, and you got to put Kyle Trask in there, there's going to be some level of expectations because he's been around all this time. But I just don't. If the Bucs really believed in Kyle Trask, don't you think they just would have just said, "We got one right here"? You know, I'm just saying. Just keeping it real with y'all. I mean, if you really believe in a guy, do you go pay another guy? Do you bring another guy in like Baker Mayfield, and then you basically give him the starting job, even though, you know what I'm saying, you go with the cheaper option, right? So apparently they already had their mind made up and then the all season they gave him, team friendly contract, $30 million with some incentives and some roster bonus and stuff like that. So it's not a terrible contract. It's a team friendly contract, and the Bucs can get out of that contract easily. So, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sucks for Kyle Trask too because I'm a Gator guy, but they gave Baker Mayfield the money, so he's going to spend his entire rookie contract as a backup, a 2nd round pick, which nobody's talking about. Well, we talk about it over here, but any more questions? Any more questions? Any more questions for the Buccos? Any more questions? Any more questions? Questions. I need more questions. I need money. Any more questions? Now, man, that oof, man, sucks for Kyle Trask, man. Entire rookie contract as a backup, a 2nd round pick, and the media just glossing over that. Like it never happened. Like it happened. 2nd round pick. And nobody's talking about it. No, that tells you right there, nobody give a damn. Nobody gives a damn about Kyle Trask. What do I think about the tight end pick? I think it's pretty good. 7th round pick. I mean, 7 rounders really don't. A lot of them don't make the roster, but if he played, I mean, I just see he could do some things. I'm just saying, I think Devin Cope can do some things. I mean, I hope he make the roster because I think he could be a great asset. You know. Any more questions? Any more questions? Any more questions? What King Cook? You gotta. I don't know. What does that mean? At Bucko. What is the what? Oh, okay. We got another question. From left tackle to all the way across to right tackle, what is your starting lineup for the O-line at Buckles? Tristan Wirfs, Robert Haseley, Graham Barton, or the Punisher, Cody Mulch, and Luke Gadecki. Grade on the draft, B+. B+. Mari. Thanks, that appreciate it, Easy. Mari, Zion McCullough, our future. As of right now, he's the present. He's the present. He's the present. Zion McCullough is the present. I don't know about the future, but he's the present. I got a feeling next year we're gonna have to address that position. I just got a funny feeling that and receiver again. Receiver and cornerback next year. I believe we're gonna be touching on that again. Yep, in my opinion, and the guard. I got a feeling we're gonna need the guard. I got a feeling we're going to go back to the guard situation next year because we got the center, then Cody Mulch, questions mark still on him, and then, left guard, Uh-huh. Any more questions? See, like I'm trying to do questions from people that haven't asked the question or had the question read. So if you already asked the question, I can answer it again. I can answer that question, but if I see another question that from somebody that I haven't, I'm gonna ask that question. I'm gonna answer that question. Like the films, where do you think the Bucs will rank as a rush offense throughout the league with this improved O-line / rushing attack at Buckos? Anything better than 31? How about that? Anything better than 31? So if the Bucs go 26, it's not. That's good, right? And it's the bar set so low, folks. The bar is set so low in our running attack, and Graham Barton will improve it, but the bar is so low. So they were 32nd for most of the season, and they went to 31. So if they go to 25, that's an upgrade. So I'm not. If you're looking for me to say top 15, hell no. If you're looking for me to say top 20, nope. But anything better than 31, 32, yes. And that's just what it is, folks. It's just the bar set so low, man. Can we get to 20? How about that? Yeah, how about we just get to 20? Get to 20. And average more than 3.7 yards a carry. How about that? Jay Rich, I'll ask a question. If Bowles makes the playoffs again this year, but it's another mediocre season plus first round exit, does he get fired? If we have another 8-9, 9-8 season, where are you going? Like, I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. Like, where are you going with Todd Bowles? Another 8-9, 9-8 season, bruh. I mean, that will be so underwhelming. And we win the division with that same record, and then we get in the first round, we get bounced. That would be terrible. Because it's like, well, we ain't going nowhere. I believe we've reached our ceiling with Todd Bowles. There's a 34 game sample size. These people just look at the FRAD score. But I believe, in my opinion, I believe we reached our ceiling with Todd Bowles. Any more questions? Look, that Michael Penix situation, that's going to be a fascinating situation because I'm telling you, Kirk Cousins is gonna feel that heat. I'm telling you, man. I got some friends that live in Atlanta. I'm telling you, the city like mixed feelings, but just saying, Kirk Cousins better play his heart out because you pick a quarterback at 8 that's ready to play, and God forbid if Kirk Cousins get hurt, he ain't getting his job back. Yeah, I'm just saying, man, he ain't getting his job. This might be that Matt Flynn, Russell Wilson situation. This might be that Russell Wilson, Matt Flynn situation. Mm-hmm. This could be that situation, folks. So, any more questions? Any more questions before I wrap this up? Any more questions? I don't know why people mad at Michael Penix. Like, damn, what y'all mad at him for? All that man do is he just got drafted. Shout out to all the parents. Shout out to the dads and moms, in particular to all the dads that was there for their sons getting drafted. Shout out to the pops. I don't think the Bucs drafted anybody they had a interview with, like they brought in for an formal interview. The Bucs didn't sign anybody they brought in for an informal interview. This is a good one. All right, Smith. Are we winning? Are we winning the NFC Soft? Buccos. The possibility is there, right? I just think that the chances are pretty much the way it was last year. Oh, well, I ain't gonna say it like that because then nobody didn't really pick us to win the division. But based on how we finished the season, I mean, I like our chances to win the division. Phase 2 is done. I would say the Bucs are, in my opinion, are the favorite, but it's going to be close again. Because Todd Bowles, man, first place schedule, Todd Bowles. It's just I got a feeling, and I might be wrong. But I think we reached our ceiling with Todd Bowles. A colder sack. It's a colder sack. It's just going down the road and kind of curving around in half a circle and going back the other way. I just don't see a high ceiling with Todd Bowles. I think he's holding the team back. Man. There, I said it. I think we got talent. I just think Todd Bowles is just mediocre at best. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up, folks. I'm gonna clap this up. Good job, everybody. Good job tonight. I think we almost had 100 people in the chat. So great job, guys. If you guys like the video, make sure you share the video, like the video, and make all your comments. And I might start making videos every day, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Well, the videos are going to get shorter now because now we passed the draft. I'll make some more videos, but the videos are going to be much more shorter. But you'll see more videos. And then we got mini camp, rookie camp coming up, mini camp, training camp coming up in a couple months. In July, I'm going to try to make it to. Is anybody going to the training camp military day? I was there last year. If so, I would like to get some tickets to it. It's free, but I would like to get tickets to the training camp. I would like to fly down there during that time frame with my daughter, like I did last year, and attend the military day. So if anybody got any insight on that, let me know. I would like to go. I would like to make that a every year thing to go down there for a couple days and watch training camp and enjoy myself. With that being said, thank you for joining a locker room talk session with Joe's the BucosLocker. We talked about the Bucs draft class impact. 3 starters, couple rotational pieces. That's what we want to see. We got a path. Let's stay on it. With that being said, fire those cannons, seize the day, raise the flag. Hashtag impact players. Hashtag we need starters. We got starters. Hashtag we got starters now. Hashtag clear path. Or the path is getting clear. Hashtag why. Hashtag what are we doing? Hashtag what is this? Hashtag don't get mad at me. I don't draft these guys. I just talk about it. Hashtag facts over feelings. Hashtag probability versus possibility. Hashtag reality over optimism. I'll see y'all possibly tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Signing out.